There's a lot of confusion right now about the fires burning in large areas, about what's causing it, and whether they should be doing controlled burns. This is incorrect. The heat actually is starting to damage trees by drying out the leaves. Here along the highway you can see the fern. They're all dying or dead. These look pretty dead now. That's because the heat dried them out. It's just too hot. You can see this soil is actually moist. Plenty of moisture, but the cover is starting to burn away. Now this is along the highway, so it could be exposed more to the sun. So let's go up into the forest and see if it continues. And you can see it does. As the ferns start to burn away from the heat and die, what happens is the ground is now more exposed to the warmth and more likely to lose moisture. You'll see in a lot of the areas in California that burn up, they have no ground cover, and ground cover is very important to a forest system because the vegetation actually makes like a little umbrella and keeps the earth cool. And when you lose the vegetation, it starts to heat up. And it's losing all of these ferns, which are very nice, lush cover. So the first thing you can do, and you can use people in the prison system, bring them out into the forest and start replanting this foliage. If we were living as God intended, we would be living in the forest, and every day we would be nourishing it. We would be pooping, and in the poop would be seeds, and they would grow, and the forests would be filled with fruits and vegetables and plants, edible plants, and then the animals would come. And as the animals forage, eat the plants like fruits, let's say, the fruit has water. And then the animal would pee it out in another area. So actually the biome would generate itself continually. But we have a great neglect of this system because we're not living the way we're intended. We're not living in nature. And that's why nature's dying. So we have to come back into nature. If you peed, if you took the volume of your pee every day, it would be like a gallon or more. And that's basically water. So if you peed by the tree each day, you would in a way be watering the forest. Now, I know that sounds funny because we're so removed from where we come from. But that would be needed now, is to start watering the forest. We have a very big problem with sewage. It should all be irrigated into these forest lands. Sewage actually, when we mix poop and water together, it actually produces methane. So we've each become a methane machine when we should be a nourishing component of nature. And when you, let's say you peed here, this would have not died. It would filter down into the soil and become just pure water into the aquifer below. It would nourish the plants. And then a little poop would actually be like a fertilizer. It's moist, brings more moisture, and it would have different plant material left over from the food that you ate. And it would have seeds in it that pass through your body. And let's say right here could be, you know, a little herb, like a little dill seed might drop here. And over here, you might drop a little seed from a tomato. So you'd have a little tomato plant. So this forest would be filled with these fruits that are filled with water. And that would bring back everything. Insects also. You know, in California they have all this dead wood that's dried out. And it's sitting there because there's no insects to break down the dead wood. You know, insects play a vital role in breaking down the trees. They also would eat water when it rains and be part of this whole ecosystem. See, this is all degrading. But you notice you don't see a lot of insects, but you'd find them down here. We had rain recently, so it's moist at least. And you can see there's very little ground cover in here. Or before, it was quite lush. Now they're all strange. Now this one is surviving. And these will take over now that the fern are gone. These will take over. And that'll still be a ground cover for the future. But you could see this year it was very hot. And I'll show you more pictures along the highways where we're losing many trees. They're just drying up. And we get a lot of rain in this area. So they're drying up from the heat.